On today's episode of Myth Chasers, we are going to check to see if graphics card manufacturers actually bin their GPUs based on the tier of product that you buy. By the end of the video, you're going to find out what we in our community call the law of the cheapest model. So, what is the law of the cheapest model? Well, I've been telling people since even before I even started my channel, dude, always buy the cheapest model that fits your needs and then mod it as you need, because there's no point in actually paying extra money for the higher end models. They're just money grabs, right? Now, the evidence that I provide is this goes all the way back to my very first 2080 Ti videos, the ones where I used to power mod, the ones that kind of kicked off my channel in the first place. That 2080 Ti was an EVGA black model. The one I got it for $999, like the MSRP base model, okay? That ended up being a god chip, right? 2200 megahertz on the core. And that one wasn't even the A variant that NVIDIA binned for the higher end products. That was the artificially locked down one. That one clocked better than most people's kingpins did. Fast forward to the Ampere launch. Do you guys remember my old 3080, the very first 3080 videos that I did? That was on a 3080 XE3, I believe. The base model one, yet again, that one did 2200 megahertz. Again, base model. I have other 3080s. None of them even come close to that one. The best 3090 that I have is a tough model, base. The best 3080 Ti that I have is the Zotac base model. Do you see where I'm going with this? The Strixes that I have, the FTW 3s that I have, even the Kingpin that I have are all worse than the base models that I own. Just a sample size of the evidence that I'm going to provide here, okay? So, now the goal of this video isn't to shit on anyone's purchases. It's more to show people that manufacturers do not bin anything. They don't care. They don't give a shit. You're paying the extra money for absolutely nothing. Buy the cheapest model, mod it yourself after. Now, in this video, this is the first time I'll be able to actually prove this point, hopefully, by comparing apples to apples models. So here we have a 3090 Ti Black Edition. This is the MSRP $2,000 one. This is the cheapest one that you can get, NVIDIA MSRP, right? So technically this one should have the worst clock, right? Here we have the 3090 Ti FTW 3 Ultra Gaming. This is the highest end model that you can currently buy. This one is $2,200. So this card is $200 more than the Black Edition, right? So what do you exactly get for that $200? Okay, so we're on the EVGA website here. We got the three models. And if you actually look at all the cards, you're like, well, I don't see the difference here. I just see the difference of price, which is exactly what I saw. So if you actually go into the specs here, this one has an 1860 boost clock, 1890 boost clock, 1920 boost clock. So this kind of insinuates that the more money you spend, the better kind of clocking graphics card that you get. Now, if you click on the actual pictures, all the pictures actually look the exact same as well. So when I bought the card, I was thinking maybe the back plate is different, maybe this is different. No, it's all literally the exact same between them. So the only difference that you see on the actual EVGA website are those different boost clocks. So with both cards actually in hand here, can you tell a difference visually? I certainly can't. So when I actually got both of the cards, they're identical. Everything about them is identical. The BIOS switches, the back plate, the front plate, the stickers. No physical difference between these two cards whatsoever. So what is that extra $200 giving you? Well, maybe it's that 60 megahertz boost clock that we saw on the website, right? It has to be that. Well, so we already know that the original black one had writing on it that said 2055 megahertz. So now let's take this one apart and see what it says. I haven't broken the warranty sealed sticker yet, so we're gonna do this together. Let's take this one apart and see what if, well, let's see if it even has writing in the first place, but if it does, let's see what it says.
A few moments later.
This one has no markings on it. What does that mean? So for some reason, the first one that I got was a hand-selected binned one, and the second one that I got was not. I don't know why. I'll leave the theory crafting up to you guys, but so we don't know what this is going to clock at just yet. So that's kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back together. Let's go see what Afterburner says about these cards. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the Black Edition first. Now, when it comes to mining performance, on this card I can go up to 1700 on the memory for memory bandwidth here. So it looks like this one does 134 at 320 watts. Yeah, 134, 31, 324 watts. Right. So this is a very, very, very good sample, I think. So now let's go try the For the Win 3 Ultra Gaming and see if how close it can get to this one. And the reason why we're doing this is usually, I would say 90% of the time, the mining performance of the card will directly tell you the bin of the card, right? So we're going to see if that theory holds true today too. Okay, so the For the Win 3 Ultra Gaming now. We got it to 1650 on the clock. So only 50 megahertz less than the other one, so that's not too bad. But it looks like it's doing 1 hash less at 20 watts more power draw. So this chip is a bit worse, not much. It like 20 watts worse of power draw means it's a leakier chip, and less hash, less memory clock. So it's very, very close to my Black. So this one should clock in gaming. I don't know. I can't even guess, to be honest. Maybe 1 or 2 bins worse than my other one. It's like, or maybe just the exact same, to be honest, which would be interesting. So let's go and do some gaming numbers now. Alright, so I basically used this video as an excuse to play some Overwatch 2 beta with fellow frame chasers. So what I did was, after every single round, I would increase the boost clock by 15 megahertz until the game actually crashed. And then I would back it down 15 megahertz, and then we played about 6 games. And then if the clock was stable for 6 games in a row, like 6 full rounds, then I would consider that, well, game stable for this game, which serves the purpose for this video. So basically, this is the For the Win 3 Ultra here for this first game that we're watching. This is the worst of the 2 bins. So you can see that we got a locked core clock at around 2175 after the card kind of heated up at 65 Celsius, right? So if you had this thing on a water block, it would do 2200. And the power, actually, oddly enough, the power draw in Overwatch is insane. This is 1080p high settings, and this thing almost kisses 400 watts at sometimes. It's like, I don't know what it's doing to draw 400 watts, but yeah, I guess you need a 3090 Ti to play Overwatch. So the final results for the For the Win 3 Ultra Gaming, the $2,200 card, is 2175 megahertz locked. Now let's move on to the Black and see what that card can do in this game. The fuck? This guy's name is Nori. Is the actual Nori? For the XC3 Black, it settled down at around 2205 megahertz. So exactly, what is that? 2 bins. Yeah, exactly 2 bins higher. Also, interestingly enough, it's about 20 watts less as well on average. So almost exactly the same as the mining results that we had earlier. This card boosts a little bit higher, draws a little bit less power. Now, it also costs $200 less. Oh, outplayed fucking Tracer. Just a quick shout out to all of the Discord supporters, patrons, whatever you want to call them. Could not do it without you guys. You enable me to buy 2 $2,000 graphics cards. If you enjoy unbiased reviews such as this, then please consider becoming a website supporter. So then, what does the $200 get you? The cooler is the exact same. The PCB is the exact same. The BIOS is the exact same. The power limits are the exact same. Temperatures, performance are the exact same. This one's actually a little bit worse. It's basically just a free $200 for the company that upcharges. Now, here's how else you can tell that this is true. Do you guys remember when the pandemic first hit, how the EVGA queue list was up, right? Now, I don't mean to pick on EVGA in this regard. It's just they have the easiest examples for me to get access to cards. But this goes for all manufacturers. Trust me, I've done it. I've tested this theory on every single manufacturer there is, and it's true for all of them, okay? Now, when the pandemic first hit, EVGA had a sign me up queue list, right? Now, they were only shipping the For the Win 3 Ultra cards from top to bottom. It was only the For the Win 3 Ultras. They were not selling any base models. How could every single bin possibly be the For the Win 3 Ultra? It's all it is this Ultra on the box costs you $200. Now, there is also kind of this theory on the underground, if you will, where like they actually purposely give the best bins to the base models, because the base models are usually kind of have the weakest coolers. They usually don't have as much of a power limit to boost those things higher. So they give the best bins down to the base models so that they can still meet spec. That's just a kind of shot in the dark theory, but with how consistent this theory is, that would not surprise me. Now, I do understand, I get it. They make way less of a margin on $2,000. They do $2,200, right? That's a 10% margin, right? If you think about it. So, like, what if EVGA is making, 5% or 10% margin on this card? They sell it for $2,200. Now they're making 20% margin on all the cards that they sell, right? That's why there's always mysteriously more For the Win 3 Ultras in stock, right? Just follow the money, boys. Always remember the golden rule: take care of yourself first. Anyway, guys, I hope you learned something today. Always remember, the law of the cheapest model has prevailed for the last decade, and I don't see it ever changing. Anyway, guys, if you like the content, hit that subscribe button, do all that YouTube SEO stuff, like, share, subscribe, comment down below why you think this card didn't have markings on it and the other one did. Why does EVGA charge $200 more for this one and advertise a higher boost clock on their website? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you later.